because if you don't, someone else will. And that someone else might be someone who systematically does it like I do. And there's nothing more frustrating than to say sell someone a home, not keep in touch with them, and then find out that they moved and that they sold that home and bought another one. And then they say, oh, hey, Elgin, oh, yeah, you know what? We hadn't heard from you, but guess what? You know what? We're so happy because we had another baby, and we need to get a bigger home. And then there was this agent that was sitting in an open house in our neighborhood, and so it just happened so quick. Wow, we didn't even think about you.
Yeah,
okay.
we did. I did an interview with Hannah Keller not too long ago, and she brought up that point. She goes, wasn't the first time, wasn't the second time, but the third time I talked to a past client who said to me, yeah, we just lost your information, so we hired somebody else. She goes, that was the day that it stopped.
Absolutely. If you want to, because sometimes you can, and this can be painful, particularly if you've been in business for a minute. If you will look at the amount of people that are in your database that have then gone on and done a transaction with someone else after they've either done a transaction with you or they've been in your database and you haven't been following up with them correctly, add that up. And then put a dollar amount on it, particularly if you're money motivated. So, I mean, let's go through it. Go through your database. And all of a sudden, let's suppose you find 10 or 20 people that did a transaction without you. And you can go out by whatever reason. There's going to be some you're going to never get over and over again. But again, let's just use the number 10. And let's just suppose from that 10 that, it was a $5,000 gross commission that you would have received from 10 people you already had done business with, or already were in your database primed to do business, and you just did not follow up correctly or treat them in a manner that they felt they should be treated. Add that up. So now, how much money have you deprived your own family from by simply not servicing another family in a proper manner?
Absolutely. So, last question: what are you doing to generate brand new leads?
In the direct marketing that I do is again, most of it social media. I still do a lot of phone calls. The phone call for me is through my database and staying in relationships with them. Now, as you already know, and I know that as part of it is that when I really need new leads as well, I will go out and still do monsters. I don't do them as consistently as I should, to be honest with you. I'm blessed to be really busy. But I went out Monday. I went out Monday for the first time, and I had some things going on with my parents and some other things. So and again, I'm not doing the big team thing, which I should have somebody out doing this for me. But when I say I went out and dropped monster tags, I mean I, Elgin, went out and dropped monster tags. Not I went out and had somebody do it, which I should do. But I actually went out. And went out for it because things are fine. But carved out an hour, went out for an hour on Monday, dropped 10 tags. I got 3 appointments tomorrow. I had 3 face-to-face appointments tomorrow. With stressed homeowners that need some help.
And and when you meet them, what's your approach going to be? What is it that the element that, and for those that don't know, the Monster Marketing System, I'll explain, is basically a glorified delivery service that I invented back in 2010 for people like Elgin, so that Elgin could literally deliver himself transparently, that's the key word, to a homeowner so they know the reason he's coming over. So he's going to get about a 30 or a 40-minute conversation with each of these homeowners. What is it like for you at the front door? What do you arm yourself with? What's your game plan going in on those meetings?
My game plan number one is to try to first of all get to a point with that homeowner where they're just talking and I'm listening. I don't go to the door necessarily looking for listing their property right then and all of that. What I'm looking to do is to be a source of information and, again, to build relationship and trust so that if the moment comes versus them walking away from their home, that they'll give me a call and we can work out, a solution for that. Now, when I first started using the Monster with you, 9 out of 10 times that person that was in distress was a short sale. They were upside down and all of that, good stuff. In 2015, you will find that there's plenty of people with equity in their homes that are either behind in their payment, they're struggling, and they have no idea that they have equity in the property, and or have not been able to get beyond the mental part of that fact that they're not going to be able to catch up. They're not going to be able to stay there, and they don't necessarily understand that the money that they're losing is their own. And what I mean by that is, if you've got $50,000 of equity in your property, and you're no longer making your payment, you no longer can make your payment, and you're not selling the home, you're just staying there, you'll still have people that'll have the mentality of, well, I'm just going to stay here until the bank takes me out of here, whatever the situation is. But what a lot of people don't understand is that, well, the bank's not losing money, you are, because there's money here for you, and you can get started and do whatever over again. So my initial approach, though, is to try to find out what their circumstances are and be a true, honest resource for them. I mean, I don't have a problem telling people, hey, listen, you know what, why don't have you tried keepyourhomecalifornia.org? Have you tried knock? I don't have a problem in giving them some options of some things that they can do, along with the fact of showing them what I can do for them if something gets to that point. The biggest emphasis that I'll tell a homeowner when I meet with them, particularly the first time, is that, in my opinion, in most cases, nothing is ever absolute, but in most cases, the one thing that you do not want to do in this instance is you do not want to walk away from your home. There are other solutions. My dad used to tell me, don't put a Band-Aid on something that needs stitches. So if you have a problem and you have a situation right now, let's figure out not only about the pain that you're in right now, but let's look for where we can be 2 to 3 years or 4 years down the line. Because in most cases, just like you've had this turn of whatever the situation is of bad luck that's affecting your family right now, you're going to have a turn. Now, what you do with it or not do it is up to you, but you are going to have a turn when things get better. So when things do get better, or you get into a different type of situation, are you going to be in a position to act, or are you going to still be carrying around this old baggage that you had because you slapped that Band-Aid on it and it never healed and it starts to bleed again? So that's my my approach.
That's awesome.
I don't go with a whole lot of me stuff. I don't come in with I'm the greatest real estate agent, since they invented a computer. I don't go in with all that stuff. I will give them information, and the information I give them, particularly nowadays. Nowadays, man, you don't even have to give a lot of information because they're going to Google you. They're going to Google you. They're going to LinkedIn you. They're going to look at and the stuff's there. If they really want, they're going to do their research. I don't think people understand it. You don't realize, particularly depending upon the age of the client, they're quote unquote millennials. Man, before you get to their house, before they meet with you, before they come to your office, they're Googling you. They got a whole bunch of information on you before they get there. They're waiting for you to lie so they can discredit you and can move on to the next person. So I don't go in with a whole bunch of that stuff. I go in with stuff that I can use to help them. I'll generally go in with, obviously we'll pull a resource that, will show that, what it says and where they're at in the process of being behind payments, if they've got a notice of default or whatever the case may be. And, I'll actually talk to them about what that really means, what kind of time frame they're probably on. Try to find out who their lender is. If they're doing a loan modification or think they're doing a loan modification, try to educate them on that process of what that really is or really is not. And, and kind of go from there. But you figure that going out on Monday, I'm real specific about where I go out right now with that, just because of time, and do speaking and all other stuff. But just put out 10 tags for me. It was less than an hour to put out 10 tags. So to get 3 appointments, I mean, how many people would like 3 appointments with someone that probably has a need to sell? And let's suppose that they don't sell, but you're able to help them and they're able to stay in their home. When someone asks about a real estate situation, a real estate person, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to give you the most glowing referral that you can possibly get because you took the time to help them and did not go out there and try to sell them. The process will, quote-unquote, happen on its own if you're authentic and you really go out and help them. I've got someone right now that I'm working with that I know odds are 9 out of 10, they are going to probably, unfortunately, have to sell. And their circumstances of where they're at. But I already been able to educate them with the fact that, you know what, don't do what you were going to do and walk away from that home, because even if you cannot work things out to where you can save it and stay in it, there is actually equity here to where we can get you out of here and get you into a fresh start. So, that's, and I actually enjoy that. To me, I enjoy being able to help people, particularly when they feel that everything is hopeless, that they don't have any options, and there's no one there really for them, and their feeling at that point is, life is weighing them down, and it's a really nice feeling that they help somebody to do that. Not to mention that when they come back to you, they're the best potential clients that you can have. Some of those people that were in 2007, 2008, that we were able to help, when they were in distress situations, that have gone on now and are purchasing homes from us. You talk about easy sales. You go in there to sell their home. The question is, how much is it worth, Elgin? Well, it's probably worth this. Okay, so what do we do from here? Or, what? Thank you for not letting us walk away from this property. And so what do we need to do now to buy a home? And now they're able to buy another home again. And they're in a better situation. The smile on their faces. I mean, that's, to me, that's what it's all about. Needless to say, for every success story of me helping someone and our team helping someone, obviously my family is helped. And that's a no-brainer.
I completely agree. Give out your info, Elgin.
Well, as you guys probably know, you can probably reach me on just about every social media platform that's out there, just about. And it's real easy. It's my name, Elgin Walker. I don't have a lot of aliases and all that. You can Elgin Walker, Facebook, blah, 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 whatever. You'll find me. For those of you that like to talk on the telephone, feel free to call me at 661-290-3781. As Lisa knows, I always have a little slogan that I say at the end, which is that, remember, no matter what you're going through in life, it's just a temporary condition because things change. And it truly is a great life. And thank you for listening.
Are you a real estate agent, realtor, investor, or are you in the real estate business and you need new listings and deals? We have a solution for you, and that solution has guaranteed results. How much would you pay to get face-to-face with a homeowner that wants to sell their home? What if you also got their email address and daytime phone number? And what if this homeowner also scheduled you to come to their door at a set time to meet with you? Sound too good to be true? It isn't. And it is 100% guaranteed for you to meet face-to-face with a real homeowner who really needs to sell their home. Not only will you get this remarkable contact system and its 100% guarantee, at no additional charge, you will get weekly coaching, documents, and training on how to get that homeowner and convert them into a new listing. When you purchase, you'll also get a one-on-one walkthrough so that you can start using the system today. Visit www.thelistingmonster.com. That's www.thelistingmonster.com. Or call Diana Ortiz at 213-706-0040. Stop wasting time the old way. Use a monster and get actual results today.
Thank you for listening to Real Estate Marketing, the podcast. To learn more about Lee, visit his website at www.honish.com.